In your POV view, Karambit's tip points outside, but if you look at someone else holding the same knife, it points inwards. Same thing with Talon knives, super general. Welcome to 11 plus minutes of useless CS2 information. Let the timer start. A famous shot gun short by Lich has more than 46 million views, and the exclusive shotgun itself has phenomenal 18 barrels. Valve has labeled the Counter-Strike 2 release as a small update. A porn star Johnny Sins has publicly supported Elige going bald.
Elige and I actually have a lot in common. We're both named John, both bald, both have great aim, and able to clutch 1v2 situations.
Pro players card scene is a little bit popping off with the Collex's newest Legends card collection. Some Chinese collector promised to pay $24k to anyone who unboxes the 1 out of 1 golden Monacy card. This is a price of a decent family car or a full apartment in some countries. Crazy stuff. Banana has been shrinked with every version of the game. Here's a CSGO versus CS2 comparison, and I already know how it will look in CS3. Sponge has never tasted Coca-Cola.
I've never even had a soft drink. I've never drunk a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi or anything like that.
Man, shut the hell up. You know what a Coca-Cola tastes like though, right? You have had a sip.
No.
Shut the You don't know what Coca-Cola tastes like.
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
Carrigan was the oldest player in Shanghai's Major 2024 at 34.6 years old, and the youngest one was Mzinho, who was at that time a bit over 17 years old. If you try to go out A main on Ancient, you'll need to deal with this annoying shadow that'll shout to your enemies that you are coming, but you can actually block the light casting it with a smoke or with a body. Simple as that. More than 90% of CS2 top pros are using Zowie monitors. Isn't it crazy? On train, you can surf here. Completely useless knowledge to people like me who can't surf. It is possible to deal knife damage through your own teammate, but if there are 2 enemies lined up, only the first enemy will take damage. Interesting stuff. Magisk holds a record with the most aces in CS majors. He has done 8 aces.
Bench is yet to move. Nails Nap, no mistake about it. Taco's not even aware where that came from, and just 1 versus 3. And
CS2 frag animations are different depending on how do you get a kill. This is how it looks if you knife someone. That's a headshot kill. This is a regular one, etc. There are more. NQZ was wearing 1 sock white, 1 sock black at the recent Shanghai's Major Yin Yang Magic. There are 32 pro players registered in HLTV whose nicknames start with a number, and 3 players whose nickname consists only from numbers. The most famous one of them is 910 from Team Mongols. Someone rocked Anomaly's merch on Lithuanian TV. You can destroy the snowman on Office part by part. Valve's president Gaben has never attended to a CS major, at least as far as we know, but he has wished one community member happy birthday with a video clip via email.
Hi Carol, Jouster asked me to wish you happy birthday, so happy birthday.
We call this a success. Fortnite is trying to perhaps compete with Counter-Strike with their new game mode called Ballistic. It is a long shot though. With Shanghai's Major MVP, Donk became the youngest Major MVP in history, the first one under 18 years old, and he also used the Glockcraft that stated he is a Sigma. On the map Edin, we have an Uhnepixel Easter egg, a jewelry shop named Mark & Co. with gold and Matrilla next to it. Sparkles spent around 116,000 US dollars to trade up to the #1 lowest float Dragon Lore in existence. You can find this epic piece of CS2 history on his YouTube channel. Rustic Fomage is making a map Shelter where you can actually save the dogs instead of regular hostages. Welcome to the future of our game. Elige's nickname comes from a Spanish translation of the word select, as Rio Select Kyun was one of his favorite StarCraft 2 players, so elegir in Spanish is to choose/select, and one day in school, Jonathan was taking a Spanish test where one of the questions was Elige, the following choices, all in Spanish of course, and he thought, looks nice. And because of all the symbolism to him, that's how nickname Elige was born. The biggest sticker placement you can get in CS is on the P90. Unfortunately, the sticker update made it impossible to apply there now, but OG skins still have them. December 19, 2024 was the day where CS2 streamer Evalon2004 passed Kai Cenat for a moment in Twitch subscribers. These are just massive numbers though. There's a big chance Danger Zone will never make a comeback into CS2. A co-creator of the game, Min Lee, has said in the past that the name Counter-Strike came from his favorite Canadian show at the time, which was Counter-Strike. In his first year of mouse, Robs played on mobile data internet. Maybe that's the real formula how to get into pro scene with a bang. The player Xionir has the highest number of VAC bans with in total 101 of them, and CS is nicely represented. A bomb code is 7355608, and by the way, the same code is written on the defuse kit. Maybe that's the reason why the defuse kit reduces the defusing time by 5 seconds. Stiko made around 154,000 euros as a pro CS2 player in 2024, and he was not in any team for almost half of this year. You all know Anomaly, the CS YouTuber, but I found from Liquipedia that there was also American CSGO pro Jared Anomaly Simmons, who is now retired, but he managed to earn around $4K by playing Counter-Strike at B-tier tournaments. Who came up with the nickname first? We can only have a guess. On New Train's T-Spawn, you can see a station map where the last stations 12, 13, 14 could be new potential maps added into the game soon. Castle, Warehouse, Bank. On 31st of March 2024, CS tweeted that Counter-Strike is the greatest video game on the planet. According to Sparkles' project SkinSearch.com data, the most searched skin online is by far the Dragon Lore. The most searched knife, however, is a vanilla butterfly. Great taste, guys. Also, go use skinsearch.com to find the best prices for skins and skinvault.gg for the quickest trades on Earth. While on years 2010 till 2015, there was always at least 6 Swedish players in HLTV top 20, then in the last 4 years, there has been none. Literally no one from Sweden. Can anyone comment what has happened with Sweden? Skibidi Toilet episodes have featured Counter-Strike maps as well as its models. Back in the day, there was Fiat 500 for the takings in Faceit shop. It cost 5 million points, which if calculated to time equals around 40 months of finishing first in a monthly ladder while also successfully nailing some missions on the side. But now when Donkey's in the scene, they have taken the car down. Device said he had a lucky pair of underwear, they were red, and they won Astralis 3 majors in a row. Why the f did he change his underwear? No idea. If you scratch Green's problem sticker enough, it will reveal someone's hand smashing the keyboard. Mountain Dew's CS version is called Alpine Sweat. There's one item in CS2 that can produce the float 1. As you know, all the other items, floats are starting with 0 point something, but this one item that can get such a high float that inside the game it reads full is sawed off Uber crazy stuff. Instead of regular WASD, Jax plays with arrows. How can he still be so good though?
Ooh. That's very good. Doesn't have the utility in hands. Jax, what is that? That's just no. Oh my lord, he's going for the ace. He should get the ace.
You can take a bomb from the bots by pressing E on them. Tech9 Cracked Opal has a pattern with a D on it. Agent skins do matter. For example, if you want to play with this Safe Cracker Waltzman skin, be prepared for a huge back bumper that will reveal your position in some cases without you even realizing. Forrest sometimes writes his signature as numbers 4, 3, 5, 7, so altogether 4 and est. Apex said if he wins another major, he will go completely bald without any problems. This would be great competition to Brokey and the Leash. Default Aux scope is way bigger than some of the skins ones. Pay to win game for real. Monasi was invited to FPL in March 2020 at just 14 years old. Did you know that back in the day, very early days of CSGO, players had a chance to vote for a rematch in the end of the game. However, for the vote to pass, it had to be anonymous and all players had to agree to play another match. Now it's gone for a long time, but I guess in a good competitive lobby, this feature could come handy. The most famous person Sponge has ever met in his life is Kim Kardashian before she got famous though.
There was like a party for the opening of the second season and Kim Kardashian and Brody Jenner were there at the opening ceremony thing.
I've met LeBron. Really? No.
The fact about R8 having the least amount of skins in CS2 is incorrect. That was a mistake by me made on my second channel. Feel free to check out the video and let me correct my mistake. The title for least amount of weapon skins in-game goes to MP5 as it only has 19 different variations. We all know Neymar loves Counter-Strike, but you most likely didn't know that he has spent more than 11,000 hours in CS. It's more than 1 year of his whole lifetime. IEM's first ever rank in CSGO was Silver 2. A fun fact, the Zeus never shows 99%, it jumps from 98% to 100%. In July 2025, there will be Fisher Summer Pro event happening in Serbia where the prize pool is exactly $1 million US. Simple's official YouTube channel, which has absolutely no videos released, is sitting at 30k subscribers. Tag is questionable though. People don't know that JL is missing a tooth which he can take off whenever he wants. In round number 14 against Passion UA in Shanghai's Major, Flamus from Gamer Legion played some Baby Shark on Inferno T-Spawn to then win a full eco round with clocks only.
The bad stat, however, is that they nearly get 60% of their T rounds over it.
Exposed to the pit, the M4's in hand. No way! They won off of Baby Shark.
History made. At times, Monacy uses Navi graffiti in-game instead of G21, maybe because this org with Navi Junior team helped to start his big CS journey. Apex has said that Robs is the hardest worker he has ever played with in his entire career. Big words, especially because Apex has had a long career, but I guess it already showed in Katowice 2025. And lastly, something that has been in front of your eyes for ages, Dust2's logo has double doors on it as a number 2, so in order not to miss the most obvious things next time, go subscribe to the channel as I will keep showing you the small details you otherwise might not see. Bye.